Welcome, and you're watching Metropole Business Center with me, Fred Makori, and right now we are joined by the CEO of Bamburi Cement PLC, Sadiq Hassani, who is joining us via Zoom. And how are you, sir? Can you get us?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh yeah, karibu sana, and let's get straight into it. We'll begin this discussion by looking at the discussion around the clinker shortfall in the country. I mean, what is this, a temporary situation, or it is something that is going to be for the long haul? What are your thoughts around it, sir?
Well, you know, this clinker shortfall is not a new story. It was the case for some years. And you know, it takes some time to invest in clinker capacity. And we have already started to look at this capacity expansion. So for now, the players, they do, for some of them, they do have a mix between local production, as we do. So we do have local production in Mombasa, which is something like 70% of our needs. And we do import mainly from Egypt, 30% of the remaining volume. And I think that some of the other players, they do the same. You have the pure grinders who do import 100% of their needs because they don't have clinker capacity in Kenya. And you have some other players who have just increased their capacity to be 100% relying on local clinker. But still in 2021, almost all the players, they have imported clinker to supply the markets.
All right. And there's this discussion around increasing the duty to 25 from the current 10%. Could you weigh in on that? Because even if we were operating at optimum, there's that also notion that we will still have to import up to 40%. Could you speak into that a bit, sir?
So the thing is that I've been asked many times why I don't want to buy a local clinker and relying on imported clinker. Well, first, as I already said, we do produce 70% of our needs locally, and we do import 30%. Now, I am not against buying local clinker. However, I need to have the choice. I need to have the choice. Why do I need to have the choice? I need to have the choice because I need to be sure that we will have enough quantity locally. Because let's imagine that I buy local clinker locally, maybe, I don't know, let's say, for example, 10,000 tons. What if the local supplier tells me I don't have enough clinker to sell to you because I have a maintenance operation or whatever? What do I do if the imported clinker is so expensive because of the duties? So this is one, the quantity. The second is about the quality. I have my own specs. I have my own specifications that are needed for producing the expected cement in the market. Again, what if the quality that I get from the local suppliers don't meet my specifications? And if the imported clinker is so expensive, then I have no plan B. And the third reason why I need to have the choice is because the clinker counts for 70% of my costs. And I cannot give the power to my competitors to control 70% of my costs. And this is, by the way, something which was raised by the competition authority as well. So in a nutshell, I'm not against, but I just want to have the choice.
All right. So as you have put it, for you, what you're looking for is choice, so that you have a choice to be able to either procure your clinker locally or have to import it. But then your disclaimer there is that it shouldn't be that the imported one then is expensive for you, because that impacts on your production cost. Am I getting you right, sir?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And now moving on, we need to get to there's that discussion about ensuring sustainability in cement production in the country. Which way to go? Ensure that we are producing more and more quality and quantity clinker locally, or ensuring that it's favorable to also import any shortfall coming in? What are the plans in place to ensure the sustainability in production of cement in the country?
Well, in terms of cement production, there is no risk of shortfall. We have enough capacity in terms of cement production to supply the market. The installed capacity is around 12 to 13 million tons of cement, while the demand is between 7 to 8 million tons. So you can see that there is an overcapacity in terms of cement production. Now, the gap is on clinker. The gap is on clinker. So then, in terms of clinker, there are two ways to look at it. As I already said, is either to buy it locally if there is the right quantity and the right quality, or to be able to import it if we don't find what we require locally. But in terms of supplying the market, in terms of cement, there is no risk of shortfall at all.
All right. Looking at that, because clinker then forms a bit of material that goes into the cement production, and yes, that is where we have a gap in between. What would you then have to say as far as locally produced clinker is concerned, where we ensure that it meets the quantity requirements and it also meets the quality requirements, so that it is supplementing whatever you are able to procure from importing of the clinker? What would be your opinion to that, sir?
I mean, if I can find locally the right quantity with the right quality at the right price, of course, I'm a businessman, so I will be buying locally this clinker. Of course, there is no doubt.
All right. So in your opinion, what is hindering you a bit is that you're not getting what you want for the standard of cement that you want to produce, so that you are able to meet what your market demands and what your cost structures within to be able to supply cement to your target market. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Exactly. And what I say, it is something that I've already experienced. You know, earlier this year, I think it was in April or May, you know, there was this problem in Suez Canal, and we couldn't import clinker at that time. So we had some delays. And we've procured clinker locally at that time. But the problem that we have faced is, first, we were asked, so I procured it locally, but we were asked first to give it back within 2 weeks. So which means that then there is a question mark about the capacity, because if I am asked to give back the clinker that I've borrowed or bought within 2 weeks, it means that there is a capacity constraint. And second, the quality that I got was not meeting my standard. So then you can imagine, when you have a clinker, you know, the clinker is the intermediate material which gives the strength to cement. And when it was not meeting my standard, then I had to spend much more cost in terms of grinding and putting more clinker in cement in order to meet the cement quality that I wanted to produce. So it is something which already happened this year. That's why I'm talking about facts. It is not about just a potential risk, but these are facts.
All right. So let's zero into Bamburi PLC. You have performed well, and we've seen the results. Let's talk about the measures that you put in place to ensure increase in revenue and put you on your way to even increasing profitability. Let's talk about that a bit.
Okay, so the profitability, it comes from two main levers. It's the top line and then the cost side. So we've worked on both. In terms of top line, so we've worked in diversifying our portfolio and our product range in order to meet and even anticipate the customer needs. So we have introduced in the last 18 months two new products. One is the masonry cement and one is a sulfate-resistant cement, so that we can meet the customer's demand. And we have a full range of products which meet each step of the construction, so that we are sure that we cover at the optimal cost the customer needs. So this is from one side. And by doing this, we were able to increase our volumes that we sold. On the cost side, we worked as well in order to improve the efficiency of our equipment, so that we were able to reduce our cost to be able to run our equipments at the maximum capacity and spending less time I would say, idle time where we don't produce, which is very expensive to us. A kiln has to run 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's the way it should work in order to be efficient. So this is what we worked on in order to reduce our costs. So by working on both sides, we were able to improve our results.
Oh. All right. And let's talk about what's in store for the investor in this space as you're speaking, as we're coming to the close of this discussion.
Sorry, I didn't tell you very well.
What is in store for the investor in Bamburi PLC?
Well, ultimately, an investor is looking at of course, it is looking at the short-term strategy and how we were able to cope with the situation that we were facing in the past 18 months with the COVID, but also looking at the future. And if any company, or in this case Bamburi, has a long-term strategy, and we do have a long-term strategy which is built on very robust pillars. The first one is growth. So we've been growing since many years, and we will continue to grow. And as I already said, we are working in expanding our capacity in the next 2 years. The second pillar is our performance, and you've talked about performance, and I think we were able to demonstrate that we were able to deliver strong, robust, and sustainable performance despite the COVID situation. And the third pillar is people. And I think Bamburi employees are well known in Kenya as the best in the country in all areas. And the last pillar, which is an important one, is sustainability. We need to make sure that we don't operate just for a few years, but for more than 50 years to come. We've been here in Kenya since 1954, 67 years. And we plan to stay in Kenya at least for the coming 50 years. So this is I would say, a very long-term strategy. So we are confident that the needs in Kenya and the global environment in Kenya is very favorable, and that's why we are investing in Kenya in the coming years.
All right, and as we come to the close of this discussion, any final remarks you'd like to throw in there?
Well, final remarks, just to say that the past few months with the economy being back after the COVID in probably much higher than expected, it had caused a lot of disruption, increased cost. We've seen what happened for the fuel, what happened for the power as well. So all this has created some disruption in the whole world, in all industries and not only in cement. But just to say that at Bamburi, we do have robust plans in order to overcome this short-term situation, and we will be back to, I would say, a more normal situation in the coming months. And Bamburi will still remain the leader in the market by delivering the customers the best solution they can expect.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and your insight and input in this discussion. We've really enjoyed our time and looking forward to calling you again soon so that we can continue from where we've just left.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is Siddiq Hassani, CEO Bamburi PLC. Bamburi PLC having been in the country for the last 67 years, and according to his words, CEO has said that they are planning and have a strategy in place to ensure sustainability and being here in the long haul, continuing to serve their market and investors at the same time. Thank you for keeping us company. We'll be coming back shortly after this break.